Shalom from Jerusalem. This last week we had the opportunity to tour the city of David, which is ancient Jerusalem. Now we've got a dignitaries tour, which is only reserved for special people. You can't buy this tour, and thanks to the relationship Bridges for Peace has with the local community and the Jewish people, this was something that we were invited on. So we're going to share that with you. From here, we're looking east from where King David's palace would have been. To the north is the Temple Mount, where the first temple stood. I realised recently that ancient Jerusalem is a smaller mount surrounded by a range of others. The first temple stood on quite a small version of what is here today. What we have today is a result of huge earthworks undertaken by Herod, as well as centuries of construction and reconstruction. This part is directly below the City of David Visitors Centre. After buying the car park on the other side of the road for more space, they found it actually had significant ruins buried below it, and so more archaeological finds took place, including $500,000 worth of gold coins that were stashed in an old wall. Now that was just the gold value, not to mention the historical value that went with those as well. About 7 years ago, a damaged sewer main toward the bottom of the Kidron Valley revealed an old path and a drainage channel. This drainage channel ran underneath the pilgrimage road that led from the Pool of Siloam up to the Temple Mount. Now the size and infrastructure of this road suggests it catered for huge numbers of people as they made the way to Jerusalem for special events and feasts. The drainage channel cuts through a number of what would have been existing water systems. These were significant chambers carved into the rock below the ground to store water from the winter rains. This is the bedrock of the Western Wall. These huge blocks we see are founded on solid bedrock, and they go straight up to the walls that we see, which is the Western Wall. Now these, you can see the quality and the carving of these buried rocks. The rookie or amateur stonemasons obviously had their work made use of, but it was near where no one could see it. This tour guide we had was actually a director of the City of David organisation, and he had some parting words before he handed us over to his graduating trainee.
This is the reason why the Jewish people are here in Israel, in Jerusalem. It's not because of anti-Semitism. It's not because of persecution. It's not because of the Holocaust. The reason why we are here is because this is where we've always been for thousands of years. And the fact that my children can read the writing on a stone thousands of years old is proof of that. The fact that we find seals with the names of our ancestors that come right out of the Bible is proof of that. And that's all happening here in ancient biblical Jerusalem.
When the Romans destroyed the Second Temple, they threw stones down from the top of the mount, and you can see the damage they did when they hit the bottom. It's said that they set everything on fire before they recovered the gold. So when the gold melted and ran into the cracks, they had to turn every stone in order to recover it, which is why Jesus said no stone will be left unturned. Just a wee reminder that this is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's actually a dull grey kind of a dome on the Temple Mount, not to be confused with the gold dome of the rock. For the next part of this tour, the guide we had was passionate, and the way she carried her Bible, read scripture and put the names and places of the Old Testament to what she was showing us was awesome.
Now, if you remember in Genesis, there were 4 rivers that were the boundaries of Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, there we go. And one of them was the Gihon River, and by tradition it's still believed that this water is part of the source that fed the Gihon River as well. So now think about Isaiah. In the time of Isaiah, he lived in the time of Hezekiah. And he's the guy that came to Hezekiah and said, the city will not be taken.
From here we go underground. There are a number of tunnels here, including Hezekiah's famous tunnel, which is impressive. This time, however, we are exploring ancient Canaanite tunnels, which is a series of caves that were crudely opened up and channeled. We're talking about 4,000-year-old channels and structure of an ancient Gihon Spring citadel here. So King David initiates his army generals by offering the command of the entire army to whoever captures the city. Now Joab somehow finds the entrance to one of these tunnels, and he climbs in here, climbs up this hole and from outside the walls, and once he gets in, he opens up the gates for the rest of the army. There are no other tunnels or passages like this in the area. This is the tunnel that Joab used. The discovery of these, along with the continuing discoveries being found in the immediate area put tangible and irrefutable evidence in the perfect sync with the Old Testament scriptures. From here we made Aliyah. Aliyah means to go up. From where we emerged out of this cave, it was certainly a good uphill trek to the top. Along the way we treated to uncovered sites of Canaanite walls and buildings. 4,000 years of proof in the pudding. This place is a witness to the glory of God, and it will be more and more God's banner to the nations.